DC mom given $10,800 taxpayer-funded lump sum as part of a scheme to help poor families spend $6,000 on luxury trip to Miami and 15 vacation outfits for her 3 kids. Cynthia Miller, 27, splurged through $10K intended to improve impoverished mothers. She shares how she put a majority of her Instagram cash into a luxury Miami trip. A DC mom has shared how she splurged $10,000 taxpayer-funded lump sum. This is a top story on so many news websites. Yes, this is $10,000. Oh, that money could have went to Ukraine. Unreal. What is she doing? There is a war going on. I mean, that's freaking messed up, but doesn't a woman that poses like this, she would steal $10,000 intended for impoverished mothers. Cynthia Miller, 27, was accepted onto a D.C. government pilot last year as she and her 3 children were struggling to make ends meet. The Strong Futures program is one of many across the United States, but only one to offer cash of a $10,800 lump sum rather than 12 smaller installments. Oh, I'll take the cash. I'll take it right now. I want the whole sum. I don't want just some of the sum. I want the full sum. You know what I'm saying? Miller opted for the former and confessed to Washington Post. Oh yeah, I did Washington Post. Am I gonna be on TV? That she splurged more than $6,000 of a windfall on a 5-night trip to Miami. You went to Miami? You could have been anywhere. I wanted to blow it. I wanted to have fun. How do you stay poor? This is how you stay poor. Oh, $10,000? Oh, okay. I'm going on a trip to Miami. The spending spree included 15 brand new outfits for her kids, one for each child for each day of the vacation. And I just love how this is a huge story when our government is just the most overbloated, they just spend money on whatever they want, and you can't even look into it. Remember it was like racist to ask to audit what the money was going to for Ukraine. How dare you ask us to audit that money? This is a wartime propaganda. But this woman spends $10,000 in the wrong way, and it's like, holy crap. Put her on the top of Daily Mail, put her on the top of Fox News as well. She was on the top of Fox News, obviously Washington Post. The stay-at-home mom said despite struggling to make ends meet, she wanted to spend over $6,000 on a 1-week holiday for her family that never wanted. Yeah, exactly. Feel bad for her, you son of a gun. But of course, stuff like this happens in the government. But again, I'm so much more concerned with what's going on the border, where that money is going to in Ukraine. Also, money for Israel. Why? Why do they need our money? I don't know. You gotta throw it, and if you don't, you're anti-Semitic. While others who shared the stories of the program were more pragmatic, Miller said she splashed through an entire $10,800 in a matter of months and struggled to keep $50 in her savings account. This is a perfect example. This is how poor people stay poor. You give them a bunch of cash, and then they overspend it. I mean, I'm not saying she's like every poor person, but like this is the poor mentality, the famine mentality. It's like as soon as you get that kind of money, you're just like, I gotta spend it. I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to just put it in the bank and just stay there while I'm struggling. I'm going to go to Miami and get me some. Almost $1.5 million in taxpayer money was dished out from the program. Again, $1.5 million. That's not even a blip on some of the more insane programs that our government funds. But it's so crazy that like when news stories take like something like this woman and they're like, look at how disgusting these people are. Look at how disgusting people like her are. We gave her $10,000, and what did she do with it? She is a perfect representation of anything that government spends money on. They're just like, we want to spend $2 billion here. Where'd that money go? I don't know. Don't look into it. We don't have all the details of where the money went. You're being racist just asking that question. I mean, how is this a top story? What is so like DC mom, because it's a DC mom, she's spending money. Yes, this is a government program that should be monitored. You shouldn't be allowed to get money from the government and then go on your Miami vacation of your dreams and then come back to being poor again, so that you're just starting from the same ground level. That shouldn't be the case. But again, that's how our government runs. If this is just like a wake-up call to some people of like how our government actually doesn't care where the money goes, and they don't look into it because that requires brain power, and they don't have that. Does she have to pay taxes on it? Of course not. She doesn't have to pay any. I didn't even think about that. You should have to pay taxes. No, you shouldn't have to pay taxes on that. But again, if my grandfather gives me $10,000 and I decide to go on a trip to Miami, you better report that, or else you're fired. In comparison, mom Erica James, 34, shared a starkly different approach. Shout out to mom Erica. Great name. Already with an 11-year-old daughter, she began struggling financially, high-risk pregnancy. James was already putting most of her whole paycheck into DeVry savings account, and she would dip into the funds when needed to pay her bills. If it was my account, I would just swipe. Smart. In comparison, Miller's exorbitant Miami splurge, James said she regretted barely spending any of the money on herself, and spending the spree was around $600 so she spent $600 on a birthday party. Okay, still we're spending on the wrong things. We're spending on the wrong things. You put that in the S&P 500 or something. You need to be saving that. You need to maybe upgrade your resume, or maybe use it for schooling, or something like a trade school or something to better yourself. Something. Nah, I'm going to Miami and I'm gonna do my thing. Again, do you care about this? If you do, check yourself. Check your priorities in life. Our government and the way they spend money is her. It's the same thing, but it's with billions of dollars. And so if you're going to get mad about this one woman, you need to change your freaking priorities. She is a perfect example of how bloated and how our government wants to audit you. The IRS would audit your $600 you didn't put on your tax forms from Venmo, but they won't audit themselves. Have a wonderful day. And remember, this woman got a $10,000, almost $11,000 check and decided to go to Miami? Girl, dream bigger. Dream bigger. You're dreaming too small.